Growing up, it all felt quite normal because it was just listening to his music around the house, and yet it all just seemed completely like just my Uncle Freddie who sung. But obviously, getting older, you start to realise that, okay, this isn't normal. This is like somebody very, very famous in my family. So yeah, I'd say probably about 12-ish, I started to realise, okay, my uncle's very famous, and obviously with my family, they've always made me aware of him, and just to be very proud and appreciative of his music and his legacy.
Your grandmother as well, she spoke about him with such pride, like the proudest of mums, really.
Yeah.
You know, how did she talk about him to you?
I think growing up, all the time really, we used to do little scrapbooks together, so whenever we found an article in a newspaper, magazine, we'd cut them out together, and whenever he came on the radio, we'd turn the radio up and listen to it and just be very proud. I think that his music's carried on through the generations because it's so different. You can't relate Queen to any other band. It's a completely different, it's not even a genre, it's so many different genres in one. So I think that's why his music will always be there, because it's just so different.
He was one of the most well-known people to have AIDS, and he died of complications related to that.
Yeah.
In the story of his life and career, how important is that part?
I think that his career should be looked at as the most important thing, because that's who he was. He wasn't an illness, he was a musician, and it was his career that was important.
The stories you've kind of heard about him around the house and around his home,
Yes.
was there ever that hint of this performer when he was at home?
I would just say he was a normal son and brother to my mum and uncle to me. He sent to our old house a huge Easter egg about this big.
Wow! Probably bigger than you at the time.
It was bigger than me and almost as big as my mum was, so yeah. It was fun. He always sent us amazing presents and definitely looked after us. To say he was only there for the very beginning of my life, he definitely made a very big impact on my life.